And we're off and rolling. Well, welcome back to another fun-filled episode of The High Ground. I'm Reed,
I'm Matt.
and it's been a little while since our last episode. However, in between now and the last time, we had the great opportunity to attend the Indiana Fallout Fan Festival celebration event. Lots of different names for it. But overall, it was quite the unique experience. Got to show up, lots of people there, lots of vendors. Actually, it seemed like there's a lot more people that showed up than even the planners had intended. And if I remember right, they actually ended up extending the open hours by I think about 2 for the museum, because right about the time they were supposed to close, they still had lines around, all throughout the place. People trying to get in and buy stuff. So overall, pretty decent success. So just haven't been there. Spent the better part of a day there, going through, talking to people, kind of doing our thing. What do you think, Matt? How do you think it went?
Well, I was actually a little surprised. I guess me not being a big Fallout fanboy, I didn't really know that there was such a following, especially in Indiana. Um, no, I was pleasantly surprised. We met some really good people down there. We met some good vendors, as well as we got the opportunity to speak to some of the fans of the event and of the game. Got some good perspectives on how people view the games, some of their favorite parts of the games, which one was their favorite game. It was good. Makes me want to get into Fallout a little bit more. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar. I played the game off and on since the third one came out. I think way back when for the 360, and it's kind of been, there's some points where I played it straight for 6 months to a year, then didn't play for a couple of years and picked it back up again. But yeah, kind of mirroring your thoughts. Honestly surprised, especially for being in Shelbyville, Indiana, which most people outside of Indiana probably never heard of. And we even had people showing up saying, "Oh yeah, we're from Tennessee, we're from this state over." And it's just like, oh wow, it's not just like random people from Shelbyville showing up. It's not only from across Indiana, but outside as well. And it's like, wow, it's really got to be something, or at least the organizers really did a great job of advertising and putting it out there. So hats off to them, obviously. And I think was that one guy that was there selling. I'm forgetting his name right off the top of my head, but he's shared his TikTok with us. But he's the one guy selling the sodas out of the middle that never had a line, that died down. That was just completely crazy. And
Yeah, he
didn't he
made
say
really
like,
good money that day.
ugh. Well, didn't he say he showed up like with a van full and he didn't expect to sell as much, but then he ended up damn near selling out?
Yeah, he was. He pretty much was selling nonstop all day long. I think everyone was pretty well surprised by the crowd that showed up.
Oh yeah. And I mean, and there's like lots of different, like I said, lots of different vendors, but also just people there, just socializing, having a good time. And I think there's a number of different people we ran into at their own various social media channels, and so they were kind enough to post some of our stuff up for us, and then vice versa, just kind of helping each other out, sort of thing. I was actually told a couple days later by the event organizer that apparently the mayor of Shelbyville showed up. Like
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, sometime throughout the day he had shown up, just maybe trying to see what all the hubbub was about. And he actually invited him. This is all third-hand knowledge, but he said the mayor invited the organizer out to lunch a few days later, and they were getting to talking. And apparently, he convinced him to put on a much larger event, still in Shelbyville, but instead of just being limited to Fallout, essentially a mini Comic Con out of Shelbyville.
No, that would be a good idea for sure.
Yeah, I'll have to check their pages, but I want to say they said it's like August 9th, maybe. That sounds right. But no, it's pretty nuts. I mean, it's not that far away, but also just, all the sheer amount of people that showed up just for Fallout, let alone, okay, now if you're going to incorporate, the larger fan base, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Supernatural, people come out of the woodwork for pretty much any of those. And hey, hopefully it should be a good time.
Well, the way I see it, there's a common denominator between the prior years and this 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 current year's events. This year, obviously, being the biggest year
Mhm.
they have had. What's the only thing that's changed? We help promote them. I'm just saying those things I think go together.
Yeah, I'd say yeah, sure. I'm quite sure that's exactly what happened. We'll have to.
Giant fan base here came out and just and supported us.
Well, it's yeah. I can't quite say I'm sure about all that, but hey, who knows? Maybe our very modest fan base really kicked it in high gear for them. But to each his own. But so I haven't heard back yet. I think they're still working out some of the details, but more than likely we'll get an invitation to go back and attend that and set up a booth similar to what we did the last one. So that should be hopefully coming in the near future. Another good chance to get out there, really, not only have a live version of the podcast, but also get to meet people, hang out. Nothing else to be a good time.
Yeah, for sure. Especially this next event that's coming up. That'll be another fun one. We'll have to make it a thing. Go see the fans of different genres of games and comics.
And what was it we're trying to? I completely lost train of thought. Anyways, with all that being said, now to the big news of the day slash besides Matt's snack pack.
Snack Pack. That's our sponsor for the day unofficially. Oreo cheesecakes.
Oreo cakesters. Come on, I'm
It
blind.
just says
Even I can read
cakesters, but
that.
it's a freaking cheesecake.
It looks like it's more similar to like a ho ho than a cheesecake, but to each his own.
It's kind of like a fudge round, actually. Is a fudge round considered a cookie, or is that a pie? Is that a cheesecake? What is a fudge round classified as?
I think it's classified and considered delicious, is what it is.
Touche.
See,
Oreo took an American cuisine classic and perfected it.
well, on my end, this actually was left here by a buddy of mine who we're hoping to have as a guest on the high ground here in the next, hopefully, maybe sometime in the next month. We'll see what the schedule's like. But on my end, rocking Granger beer, the classic light beer. Very modest looking label. Looks like maybe a slight step above PPR in classiness, but hey, to each his own. Can't complain with free leftover beer.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I've got the highly addictive Dr. Pepper.
With 23 magical, tasteful ingredients. Or hang on, I think I was trying to channel the Heinz ketchup thing. Was the 57 different varieties? Anyways, with that being said, now to get to the main news of the day. So about a month, maybe 2 months ago, I was kind of perusing around, and luckily around this time, every come up on this summer, you have a number of events that find their way to Indiana. You have the IndyCon, Gen Con, uh, PopCon, etc. And just a number of these very tight knit events that bring a lot of people out of the woodwork. Like we said before, like lots of fans of different genres, fantasy, gaming, you name it. Everybody comes out, and there's always something for everybody. And I had submitted an application for us on behalf of the High Ground, just to see what would happen. And lo and behold, about a week and a half ago, I received a reply saying we've been invited to host a live episode of the High Ground at PopCon here coming up on the weekend of May 10th in Indianapolis, Indiana. This is kind of big. I mean, this is kind of a neat opportunity. I mean, this essentially a show that we love to do. We just kind of have fun with it, and slowly meet people, network, and all that. But it's really something to be saying, hey, come be a part of this event that attracts not only a lot of people from all over the state and beyond, but also the occasional big name, whether it be movie star, creator, etc. You so just before diving any more into the details, Matt, what do you think? First impressions, like what's like I don't know, what did you think when I first told you?
Oh, I thought you were crazy. But then we got the nod to show up to the Fallout event. We've got the nod to show up to, what'd you say, IndyCon.
PopCon.
Um, yeah, I'm excited. We get to meet Frodo's little helper and Sean Astin. That's going to be exciting. We're going to have to get some good questions to really grill him. I think that's a kind of a game changer for us to get him on screen, get a good interview going. We're going to have to definitely coordinate that pretty well. I got a lot of questions for him about Frodo and why he
Well,
didn't take the ring. Because, to be honest, without him, that the Fellowship would have been screwed. So he's a very underrated character, and I think that he needs more credit for saving Middle Earth. How about you?
Well, I would definitely agree with 90% of that. However, just please do keep in mind that unfortunately he will not be joining us on the high ground stage when we are there. But I do plan on us seizing every opportunity. There's usually like two different lines to these sort of things where they'll do photo ops with whoever's there, and then they'll also do a separate one where if you want like an autograph or something like that, it's like two separate lines. And usually the ones that are doing autographs usually have like a couple of minutes, like a minute or so to like, while he's kind of, hey, how you doing? My name's blah, 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 and just, a little extra time. Whereas the photo op is more of kind of a longer line, but it's mainly just, you walk up, hey, how you doing? They take the picture and then everybody kind of moves along. So if you're looking for at least a little bit of talk time, then yes, I would highly recommend the autograph table.
Well, I'm hoping that since we're going to be a vendor, we're going to be there obviously before the crowds will get set up. I would assume that his team will be there getting set up. We might be able to catch him before the event even starts. So, just saying, we might have to try and sneak around and get over there.
Hey, you know what? Crazier things have happened. I, was it? Remember I told you? I think it's a couple of years ago. I went to IndyCon, and I remember, Lou Ferrigno. The name ring
Yeah.
a bell? He was one. He was one of the big ones there, and kind of just walking around. And I don't remember how old this guy is. He's got to be like late 60s, maybe 70 years old. And this guy is still like built like a brick shit house.
Wasn't
Like
he?
he is.
He wasn't the Hulk. That was the black guy.
No,
Or
he
was he the
was.
Hulk? Okay,
Yeah,
that's
he
what I
he
thought.
was the original Incredible Hulk to where, like, before they had CGI, the muscle suits and all that, they literally used his actual like bodybuilding physique to be the Hulk. They just painted him green and gave him shorts. But
The good
still, this
old days.
dude, well, this dude's probably like 6 inches taller than I am, and it's just like, you just you'd be almost look like you're about afraid to shake his hand because they'll probably rip it right off. And it's like, damn, dude.
You are somewhere between a dwarf and a hobbit.
What does that make you then?
Good looking.
But regardless, I mean, like I said, these events all around, whether it be PopCon, IndyCon, they all kind of attract the same kind of crowds. Where it's never a boring sight, it's never a boring interaction, and there's always, like I said, there's something for everybody, including everything from, hey, if people like are big into books and novels and whatnot. There's usually a bunch of authors that are there. They're here. I can't think of any off the top of my head. They're going to be there, but there's voice actors. I want to say last time we went. Uh, Wife got she went the voice of Ariel for the Little Mermaid. She was there, little things like that where it's just like, oh, that's kind of cool. And
I
oh
would have
yeah,
never known who that person is.
oh, and I think it was Steve from Blue's Clues was there too.
Which one? The original?
Steve Burns, like the original.
Oh, jeez. I'm not sure I would recognize the face anymore. I thought he got in trouble for like weird.
No, that was no. You're thinking of I believe that was Pee Wee Herman. You're thinking of.
Well, yeah, him too, but I thought
But
Steve.
no, Steve just from my if I remember right, he actually has his own podcast now. It's actually a pretty good listen. But
He's a
no,
competition. It sucks. Do not tune into him. Tune into the high ground.
well, I think he said in an interview that he actually decided to leave Blue's Clues because his hair was starting to go, and he just didn't think it would look right on a children's show for a slowly balding guy to it just wouldn't look right, and hence why a lot of times he wears a hat a lot of times now. But no, it's still kind of cool. But yeah, just like I said, that kind of stuff, and even another big one is I think some of the vendors that they have, like there's just there's like I said, there's a little something for everybody. And I think I mentioned on a previous episode about there's a couple like small coffee makers, like local ones that just it's slightly pricey stuff, but it's like the flavors are unreal. It's like a little, it's like, oh, that's kind of a unique thing, and it's kind of a okay. I'll spend a couple extra bucks just to see what it tastes like, or just for the experience of it. Whew.
Yeah, it'll be exciting for sure. Be interesting what kind of people we can meet. Broaden our horizons a little bit, not to just one genre of people. We get to see more of the, how do I put it? It's a special type of person that goes to Comic Con. Let's put it that way. And they keep the day entertaining for sure.
Well, I would definitely say that there's definitely a lot of people that are a lot braver than I am as far as just I mean just the sheer time, effort, energy that I mean I've actually even some of the ones we saw at the Fallout event that just whether it be the attire, whether it be the props, just all the meticulous planning of it's like wow that's the next level, not
Yeah,
even remotely close.
that one guy had a whole satchel full of different props from the game. He, he
Oh yeah.
spent he spent a lot of time putting all that stuff together.
So I think it kind of looked like half of them were made out of clay, the other half maybe 3D printed. But nah, it's just yeah, just like oh, I got this, got this, got this, and it's like dang, dude.
Yeah, and then he hand painted the labels and stuff like that. Yeah, he spent some time on it for sure.
See, I feel like we could probably pull off one time. I mean, maybe not so much you with your height, but I'm sure we can make it work. We need some platform shoes. We'll have to go to one of these things one time dressed up as Sam and Dean. Being from the Midwest, I think we already have the appropriate attire probably somewhere in our closet, and then we just gotta just kind of go from there with the look.
So Dean's obviously the better looking of the two, and he's shorter, so it would work out perfectly for us.
I think right now you're trying to steal his hairstyle too.
Well, hey, it gets the ladies.
I have to get you this little necklace and swap it out for your chain.
I can put a crucifix on this.
No, it wasn't a crucifix. It was the little. It's like a little totem head or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that little,
It'd been a minute. It'd been a minute. And what are they up to, like 18, 20 seasons or something crazy?
well, when they stopped at 15. They haven't done it since. But
I thought they kept going.
no, there was like a spin-off show I think called The Winchesters where it was like a side. I don't think they were in it, but there was like a side story to it, and they still actively like do comic cons and different things like that. But allegedly they keep hinting at okay, maybe they'll bring him back for something or other, but it's not one of those hopeful things. Jensen Ackles was too busy the last couple of years starring in The Boys. You seen that show?
Some of it, I don't recall seeing him. I'm probably only like 2, 3 episodes in, but
It's like the one where it's like superheroes, but it's like set in the real world. So it's like, oh, if superheroes behave like regular human beings, just how
yeah,
terrible it would be.
yeah.
Oh, it's. I remember watching the first one. I think it was. It threw me off because like right at the end, it has one of those first episode endings that just leaves you instantly. Okay, now I got to binge watch the next one. Before you know it, you're all the way through the season. It's only been 6 hours.
Yeah, no, I'll have to get into it. I kind of busy last time I tried to give it a chance and never really gave it a chance.
Well, and I think that's part of the reason. That's part of the problem with a lot of shows that are coming out nowadays. A lot of them are really good, but it's just like, God, an hour and 15 minutes for one episode. It's like,
Yeah.
I ain't got that kind of time right now.
What was the last good one?
There've been a couple in the last couple of years, but yeah, it's depending on what your taste is.
I mean, nothing compares to Ted Lasso. It's
Well,
on a whole
that's
different level from everybody else. That was just good.
he's in a league all of his own.
That's
Uh,
one of those type of characters that you don't want to start a career off with because then you're labeled. Jason Sudeikis would have been labeled Ted Lasso for the remainder of his career, kind of like
yeah,
I'm drawing his name a name blank for Frodo.
Elijah Wood,
Elijah Wood.
Daniel
He's never really
Radcliffe,
going to
same
have a
thing.
strong career because he's always going to be Frodo to everybody. Kind of like Daniel Radcliffe. He's always Harry Potter. No matter what you see him in, you see Harry Potter.
Okay, hang on. Really slight segue off to the left field. Go back and forth, see who loses first. So we did. We got Elijah Wood, Daniel Radcliffe. Okay, keep going. Ones that are, hey, no matter what else they play in, they'll always be known for that iconic character. Like that's them.
I would say
Just do one at a time, and we'll go back and forth. See how many we can get.
um, see, I'm drawing name blanks left and right, so this is gonna suck.
Let me help you out. Johnny Depp,
Aragorn,
Captain Jack,
Johnny Depp? No,
Jack Sparrow.
no, I disagree with
That's
that.
okay. Fine. He's done a lot, but that's one of those that's pretty up there.
Yeah, Johnny Depp was one of those guys that really didn't know how to define his career, so he said, "I'm just gonna do everything," and he's done everything very well. Some might say Willy Wonka.
Some, not all.
Some might point to that's Amber Heard's ex-husband, because that was a damn good series all in itself. Who would have thought a real life divorce court, or not divorce court, but court hearing could be
That's pretty
so?
much what it was.
It was like that
For like a
was
month
awesome.
straight, that's all
Okay,
the news was.
so we're gonna run off on a tangent on our tangent.
Oh
Uh,
God.
if we weren't in the middle of a COVID lockdown, does that Heard and Johnny Depp trial get the attention that it got? Because we really just didn't have much
I,
of
I thought that was
anything
after.
else. Was it
I thought that was
after?
after. I thought it was
It
just
wasn't
like
much
not
after.
too much, but just maybe just after COVID. But yeah, I think at COVID, I think of Tiger King.
Oh no! Well, you know what I think of with COVID lockdown was the Last Dance documentary, the Michael Jordan documentary that came out. It was like the biggest thing during lockdown. Like everyone was talking about the Last Dance. Does that gain traction if everyone's got something else to do,
Actually, I
or is it
remember
just
you.
another good documentary?
I mean, I remember watching the first episode of it at your place once. I don't think I watched the rest of it since, but I mean, it was pretty good for what it was. I mean, at least the one episode I watched.
Okay,
Uh,
so Aragorn. I can't think of his name either.
you're winning today. Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen. I mean, he. I can only think of one other movie he's been in. That's Hidalgo, and Hidalgo was pretty good, but
And it was
I
it,
I was
it
still
was
waiting for him to save Gondor the whole movie.
it was weird because yeah, that was the first thing you see him in after Return of the King, and it's just like no, where's your hair at? No, no, you're not a cowboy. You're the king of Gondor. Go back.
Yeah,
No, we're not doing this.
I can't think of a movie offhand that he was in before Lord of the Rings either, because he wasn't really a big name guy. He was just kind of
Well, and I think that was the point. I think Peter Jackson actually mentioned that where he wanted most of his cast to be people that weren't well known. Hence, why a lot of those people that was big, a lot of their breakout roles. I mean,
ooh,
you got a few.
here's one.
Oh
Here's
God,
one. Game of Thrones. Um, I can't think of his name either. Oh, we got a special guest, everybody. Special guest.
oh,
Get down. Get down. Get down. Um, the guy that plays the King of Winterfell. What's his name?
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean. Does he succeed so well in Game of Thrones without Lord of the Rings? Yes or no?
So here's the thing.
Or is it just our Lord of the Rings fandom and our bias to Lord of the Rings that makes that character for us that much better?
No, see, Sean Bean's one of those that he is. So he was famous even before that. Like one of his first big ones that like made him mainstream was Goldeneye, the James Bond movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people like that was his big known before that too. And he's had a bunch of like really small films in between, but he's kind of had like those couple big hits that's kind of made him, recognizable at least. So, which,
Mm-hmm.
Goldeneye, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, but and what's the joke? The running joke? It's like he can't be in a single movie or show to where he doesn't die. It's like he always dies. He never lives to be to the end of the series or the movie.
I can see that. Yeah,
I mean,
it's a shame because he's a great actor, and every time you see
oh
him
yeah,
on screen, he's that memorable face, that
yeah,
character that you always enjoy and you
oh
want to see
absolutely,
more of.
yeah, and it's it's yeah. But I mean, then you have like, what was it? I mean, yeah, Sean Austin, who he was kind of a big name with younger crowds. I mean, because his big thing was the Goonies and Rudy,
Mhm.
you know, like early mid '90s films, I guess, if I remember right. So he had a little bit of recognition up until then. You know, Ian
Yeah, I
McKellen,
think
he
he
had a
pretty
number.
much touched upon all of his major accomplishments. Goonies, which led into uh, Rudy and Lord of the Rings, and outside of that,
I
I'm not
don't
sure I can really touch upon too many other films he's been in. I know I've seen him in some like rom coms and stuff like that.
51st Dates. Doug,
Yeah,
Doug, quit
yeah,
sweating in the sauce.
yeah. I forgot about that one.
It's not juice; it's a protein shake. um,
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
that's been a minute. Um, oh, well, it's like I think once he became Samwise, that's like okay, his defining role. Even though I think with a slightly younger generation than ours, he slowly that movie Stranger or that show Stranger Things. He was a main character for a season of that, and a lot of people liked him in that. I didn't think it was bad, but he'll still always be Samwise.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And obviously, all the hobbits pretty much have that title. Um,
Well, yeah, and then
outside of that, I mean,
hmm.
that might be all of them.
Well, like all of them as far as like one like defining role or ones that are like have a lot of notoriety.
The major ones that have like that defining role. So obviously, you have like McKellen.
Right,
He's
but he's got a couple of the big ones like Magneto, and he's got a couple of big ones,
yeah, I know he's been publicly saying he wants to play Gandalf one more time.
and he
Hopefully,
is. And,
yeah. I'm
I
not.
mean, I think they're almost done shooting, if not
Yeah,
already done.
I'll give it a chance, but I don't really quite understand this obsession with Gollum. They came out with the Gollum video game that sucked complete ass, um, and then now they're going to do a movie or is it TV series? I guess I don't remember.
I, I'm pretty sure it's a movie, but
It wasn't like a limited series.
tell you what, here's my opinion. Here's my opinion on why they're doing it. One, it's an easy enough story to do with the cast they have. I mean, without a whole lot of recasting, except for Aragorn. Which, if I remember right, they're bringing in the guy who played the main character in Fifty Shades of Grey to play Aragorn. Funny enough, there's a little fun fact for your day.
Vigo Mortensen doesn't want to play, or is he just too old at this point to?
He didn't want to come back for it. It wasn't like for any like bad reasons. It was just like he made the choice not to return for it, and so he is the one one of the ones that they are recasting. But I think there's two reasons they're doing it. One, it's an easy enough story to tell with a small, keeping the cast size small with what you have, without having to jump into the lore of the Silmarillion or all these other things that require all these little intricate parts. It's a lot easier for them to do kind of this in between story and fill in the gaps rather than open up a whole new door like they did with the Rings of Power. Also, I really feel like they're trying to make the most of while, knock on some serious wood, while Ian McKellen and a couple of these guys are still alive
Yep.
and able to do it. Because, okay, I'm sorry, that's Gandalf. I'm sorry, Andy Serkis is Gollum. You're not recasting those successfully. So let's,
Not Gollum. Gollum was just such a unique voice
yeah.
and played so well. You're never going to recast that, and you can never replace Ian McKellen. So
Hang on here. You remember how I think because James Earl Jones sold his voice rights to Disney before he passed by
yeah,
saying, "Hey, I'm giving you permission to use it." How much you want to bet Andy Circus eventually does the same thing at some point, where he's like, "Hey, if you pay me X amount of dollars, I will let you use my voice from here into eternity for that." You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
yep,
Because like you said, nobody else is gonna. You can't even come close.
yeah. I always wondered why they didn't try and cast him in as Dumbledore in the Harry Potter.
Andy Circus?
No, no. Oh, that's who I thought you were talking about Ian McKellen.
No, but I actually know the answer to that question.
Why?
I read it like 3 weeks ago. I think it was something to the effect that him and Richard Harris, the original Dumbledore, there was something like they didn't like each other, or they had actually offered the role of Dumbledore to Ian McKellen originally, but there was some kind of weird, like one person didn't like another. There was some kind of weird behind the scenes, but he was actually offered that role.
Man, we missed out. How much better would Harry Potter have been? Like that would have been
I
crazy.
I think it would have pissed me off even more when Dumbledore ended up dying.
Yeah, it would have. You would have been fucking in tears.
You don't kill Sir Ian.
He kills you. He decides when he dies.
You're like the Chuck Norris of wizards. You can fuck off.
Man, that would have been the trifecta too. Magneto, Dumbledore, and Gandalf. That's a whole career right there.
Hang on, that's like hang on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is Harrison Ford level trifecta.
That's better. Han
Eh,
Solo ain't got shit on Gandalf.
Han Solo, Indiana Jones. I mean, I was never really big into Blade Runner, but apparently a lot of
So,
people were.
man, he missed out on some opportunities because it's him. All he had to do was say, "Hey, I want to be a Jedi," and he would have been in Star Wars, and we would have completely forgot who Harrison Ford was.
Hang on, what's it? Remember the one Jedi who had the really elongated head and he had the beard? But yeah, Ian McKellen is him. I would like it wouldn't have worked because he's too much of a side character.
The voice wouldn't have matched the face.
No,
You had to keep his
yeah.
face and keep him just a bearded. He'd have to look like an old wizard out there, and then
I
just
mean
start
that's
his mask.
I mean that's
Okay, so
it's,
here's one, and I know this might be blasphemous.
oh god.
Could he have been Qui-Gon? Or or would that
No, I'll say no, and here's why.
because Liam Neeson was just too good?
That's one of the main points. Yes, and that yeah, that's you're right. That is slightly blasphemous, but I, one, he was too good in it, and two, I think that in at least in episode one, he was still young enough to bring a slight athleticism to it, to where I mean, he wasn't doing like a bunch of flips, nothing crazy, but he was still young enough to where okay, he's fighting Darth Maul and moving and gyrating around and stuff. Okay, I'd buy it. Versus you try to put Ian McKellen up there at his age and just okay, I'm going to call bullshit. That's back in was it '99 when that came out. So it's like, yeah, I don't think I would have bought it.
Yeah, but he was only what 60 something in the 90s because he's in
Yeah,
his
but
80s now. So in the books, Qui-Gon was in his 60s.
I don't think he was at that point.
Yeah,
He was not that old.
he was an old Jedi
I'd give
in the
you
series. Him
I'd
and
give you a
Dooku are
late
both pretty old.
I'd give you a late 40s.
Maybe I don't know.
I'd say what we'll look that one up later as far as okay, what canonically what was the age of Qui-Gon and Dooku at that point in the timeline? That's a good one to look up.
Yep, yep. Um,
Oh,
but
so
Yoda was like
good.
600 years old. Look at him.
That
He's
doesn't
flipping
make
all
it
around.
different species, different everything. Not even that's apples and pears. It's not no.
Apples and pears.
Well,
Those can.
it's too cliche to say apples and oranges, so I threw pears in there. Get at me.
I'm not sure that works.
Hey, oh, I'm sorry. You got something against pears?
No. Maybe I have something against apples.
What's wrong with apples? Oh, you hating on apples? What?
I
I'm
mean,
sorry. I'm sorry. Hoosier, you don't like Johnny Appleseed? He's gonna be hating on Johnny Appleseed?
yeah, he was a punk. He was
Lit-
walking around eating apples and throwing his seeds everywhere and pollinating shit. What'd he do with his life? He was a
I'm
hobo.
sorry.
He
I'm
was a
sorry.
hobo walking around eating apples.
Excuse me. Planting seeds throughout the Midwest to grow apple trees so people can have
Hey, I was planting
food.
seeds all through high school. I'm not getting credit for it.
I'm sorry. You don't like apple. God damn. That was good. That was fucked up, but that was good. I'm sorry, you don't like applesauce, don't like apple cider, don't like apple juice.
Nope.
Ugh, sad day
You
in the
ain't
Midwest.
drinking juicy juice, then fuck you.
Funny enough, I was watching that 2 nights ago.
I had Maya
Yeah.
watching it a couple months ago, and she was into it.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Razor
ain't
right.
chewing Big Red. Fuck you.
Why did you stop the jazz music? Was it not pleasant for you?
You think they could do a sequel to that?
Could they? Yes.
It's got to have the right
Should
character.
they? No.
Do what?
Could they? Yes. Should they? No. I could. Okay, that should be a no. I can maybe see a sequel to Step Brothers, but okay, it's not okay. It's like trying to make a sequel to the other guys. It's just like no, leave it as the one off. It was good. It was funny. Leave it as it was.
I don't know. The other guys had Eva Mendes. I don't give a shit with the storyline as long as she's in there and smoking hot. Isn't she still married to Ryan Gosling?
I honestly don't know. I've not kept up with the latest of People Weekly.
The answer is yes.
Oh, I'll tell you what. This will yes show my ultra nerdy side, but his new movie coming out. I actually read the book first, and I end up just beyond loving it. And so, honestly, one of those I can't wait to watch the movie, even though I'll probably be let down because there won't be as much good stuff in it. Hail Mary,
Yeah,
yeah, book is amazing. Hopefully, the movie at least somewhat lives up to it. So here's to hoping that doesn't get too screwed up.
we'll see.
All right, so as we come up on 40 minutes, good wrapping up point.
Yep.
All right. Before we give our sign off, any final thoughts to our upcoming? Sorry. One last little bit here. So next time on the high ground, we'll actually be having a special guest that we both met at the Fallout Indiana event. Goes by the handle Zabri. Zabri, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Big Fallout fan, big into cosplay. She agreed to come on and be a special guest on our next episode. So, big shout out to her. Hope she comes. Hope she has a good time, and hey, it'll end up being a good show.
Yep, yep. Definitely looking forward to having her on here.
All right. Any final thoughts of our upcoming PopCon event, or just anything in general, Matt?
No, just looking forward to asking Sean Astin if he likes to boil them, mash them, and stick them in a stew.
We need to buy those T-shirts before we go and wear them. We need to. I've seen them on Amazon. We got to get them.
Haters, precious. I'm gonna hand him a potato and just watch his facial
just
expressions.
just bring a bag with you, carry it around the whole day, get weird looks like what the hell is this guy doing, and then just walk up to it. And everybody's else got their pictures, the little props. Can you sign my potatoes? They're gonna go bad in about a week, but can you still sign them?
Yeah, can you sign him before I boil them, mash them, and stick them in a stew?
You know what? It would be the dumbest thing in the world, but it would be epic. All right, I guess that does it.
Nice crispy chips. What's chips?
Nasty chips. You can't eat Hobbit food. Anyways, I can't do it as well, so you can't leave me alone. But that'll do it for all of us here at the high ground. So until next time, stay nerdy, stay knowledgeable.
And always take the high ground.
See you next time.